Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are currently very close to launching our offensive here. And this is going to be a heck of an offensive. No doubt about that. There's going to be a lot that happens with this offensive. Now, at the very tail end of last episode, after the credits, I pointed out that I had massively increased our recruitment of infantry. And this is absolutely the case. I want this to be as it is, but I'm actually going to cancel these because I'm going to do a new section here. So we're going to do infantry division down here, and I want to add in 12 of those, and I want to do this 4 times. So we're going to recruit like that. These are going to remain as they are. So that seems fine. We're just going to increase our recruitment up until we have essentially 2 additional armies, because I think we're going to need them. I think we're going to need more than 2, but for now, this will do. So we're going to set our location as being somewhere. It doesn't really matter. So that is absolutely fine for now, and of course, we are continuing to work on stockpiling our tanks and waiting on these last couple of units to finish their training. So we just need to get this up to 24 units, and then we're going to be ready to pull the trigger on this at this point. So that looks great. An enemy agent was turned. Okay. Sure. And we captured a Japanese agent. Okay, we're actually doing some things. Speaking of which, we should probably be working on some other cryptology. This is decryption, and we're not probably going to do too much decryption, but it's fine. We have a prototype decision available. So, do we want cheaper or better? We're going to go with better. Cheaper doesn't matter to us. So that seems absolutely fine. Excellent. So our production of tanks is in a good spot. We're producing 26.71. That's more than 1 per hour. I'm happy with that for now. The Bren carrier has finished its research. Not that we care. And we're going to grab like the universal carrier. It's fine. So now we've got this modern tank template. Wonderful, or rather, this modern tank division, and that's ready to be moved out into this theater. So everything is looking good there. Maintenance Company 3 is now done, not like we need it. We're just kind of researching random things and finishing out the tech tree. So that looks good for now. And eventually, we will push out and get Japan on the defensive, at the very least. So this looks fine for now. We are working on building an awful lot of land forts still, and that's to be expected. As I've said, that's all just, oh, we can actually build additional factories. We should do this. As I've been saying, that's all low priority stuff. That's stuff that we want it to do when the factories aren't working on higher priority stuff. And we will absolutely have higher priority stuff for our factories to work on. No doubt about that. So if we take a look at our production here, we can see we're not getting additional armored divisions beyond these 2, which seems absolutely fine for now. All of this will, of course, take a while to get trained, but I do want that to be trained eventually, and maybe we should do this more than 4 times. Let's see here. What is 72 divided by 12? That is 6. Okay. Let's do that. So that seems fine. Ish. So we're just about ready here. We need 3 additional tank divisions. There's 1. So that's all looking good. We need 2 more now. So this is going to be done on 17 May, 19 May, and 19 May. Okay. So those are going to be finished up very soon, within a couple of weeks. Great. We can assign a new trait to this guy. Organization first or charismatic? Do we want more division recovery or reinforce? That's a hard choice for me. I'm not really all that knowledgeable about what is better in what situation, but I know that both of those are useful, for sure. I think we're going to go with the reinforce rate, just to make sure that they're getting the tanks flowing to them, is what I think I'm going to go with here. I mean, I've already chosen it, so that's definitely what we're going with. So that seems fine. We do have some air doctrines available. For the moment, I'm not terribly concerned about that. And we have a lot of political power. We should probably be doing a coring at this moment. So only one core there. We should pay out a high amount of dividends, and that seems good. And then beyond that, what else are we interested in doing? Well, our war support is fine. We're going to have some combat casualties as we start pushing this out, so maybe we should exhort heroism. That's something that we could definitely do. Cancel the Congolese uranium trade. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're not going to do that right now. So this seems reasonably fine, but that of course means that we can build some additional factories, right? Because of our payout? No, actually. Okay. Sure. Well, that seems fine. We'll continue to work on that for now. And we're very, very close to launching this offensive. Very, very close indeed. We're just waiting for this to finish up. 17 May. There is this tank brigade. Let's get it moving over. And of course, it'll take time for these tank brigades to get to the front lines and get to their designated positions, right? That'll take a little bit. So that's understood. We'll get into position over here. We've got a big troop buildup going on. Obviously, they know what's happening here. They know what's coming. We're not being very secretive about it. So I want this military district to come up over here for now. So that looks good. Machine-assisted decryption has finished. We'll just continue to work on all of this. And that's another military district, so that's going to go there. Perfect. And we should, at this point, have that final modern tank brigade. Perfect. So we'll get them moving right on over. They should move fairly quickly due to the rail line. And that'll be absolutely great. One thing we could do while we're thinking about it is we could go through and upgrade all of our existing rail lines to make sure that every single one of these is at level 5. That'll make it a lot harder to deny our logistics, and it's not like we're going to need this construction. Well, I mean, we're going to be pushing here very soon, but these constructions are going to go very quickly. So this seems like a reasonable thing to do, actually, at this moment. So we'll get all of these ranked up. That'll allow us to transfer troops around and supplies around in a more flexible manner, which is definitely a good thing to have. So we can get any of these that are not already 5 upgraded to 5, and I'm kind of doing this haphazardly right now. So that's exciting. Nothing out over here, so that looks okay. This one can get upgraded. What else do we have here? This kind of awkward rail line here. Not sure what's going on with that one, to be honest. And this one can get upgraded. Our rail lines are a lot thinner out over here. I feel like we should have a connection out to this supply hub and then connecting in over here. And maybe also connecting up this way, like that. That makes a lot more sense to me. And then a connection here, too. Okay, so that looks good. And checking in up over this direction, what do we have going on up here? This should all be level 5 already. And indeed it is. So that looks great. I would like to see a connection that comes down like this. And then we'll upgrade these. There's some awkward connections out over here. This is not actually connected to our main network. Okay, we'll just get that connected. There we go. What else do we have out over here? That can get upgraded. These can get upgraded. And that's pretty much all of our rail connections, I believe. So these are going to go pretty quick. Ah, here's one down over here. But those are going to go pretty quick, and that will help us get things moved around. So yeah, that's definitely going to take some time. I do want to go down to the bottom here and move these guys up to the top, because we want to be putting these to work as soon as we can. So we'll continue to work on that, and for the moment, I'm just waiting for this tank to arrive. And I'm not sure where exactly it's going. It's going right here. Okay, so we'll just need to wait for his organization to build up now. So this seems reasonably fine. This is 2 additional modern tank brigades, and I'm going to move those out over here, I feel like. So we're going to put them in a new army in the... This is going to be in the Western Theater. So this army is going to go over here. And they are going to just start frontlining out over this way. So we'll start building that up, but that's going to be a slow process, and we're not terribly concerned about it. So that looks good. We've got a bunch of infantry under training right now, and that's looking great. So down over this way, we should be pretty much ready to launch our offensives at this juncture. So the question then is, do we want to wait for anything else? I mean, this is a lot of rail lines, but that's definitely a lot of rail lines. It's fine. I think we'll just launch this. So I'm going to grab these guys, and I'm going to tell them, go ahead and start pushing. And these guys down here, go ahead and start pushing. The real question here is, are we going to be seeing this stockpile number going up or going down as we do this? I suspect it's going to be going down, and if that's the case, that's fine. It's approximately fine. Okay. Well, let's see how this goes. We're going to launch this offensive now. So, we see in this initial attack, it's looking very good out over here. In the initial attack over here, this is actually looking pretty good as well. It's not as good, but we kind of expected that. Okay, yeah, this looks fine. While we're doing this, I kind of want to grab these guys and move them into an army group. And have this army group be assigned out here instead of having it be like this. So the tanks are attacking and should be able to hold the line while we move around. So what I want to do is I want to remove the 3 infantry armies here. So this is army 1, 6, and 7. Like that. And then I want to probably promote a commander to this. I don't know if we can promote him enough right now. Probably not enough at this moment. Indeed. We could put this guy in charge here, though, and we would need to promote a different guy for that. So that's this army. Yeah, so we can do it this way. Okay, there we go. That seems fine. So this army group is now going to be frontlining right out over here. Just like this. So we're going to have 2 army groups here, and that's how they're going to be set up. So they're going to completely reorganize this, and this is why I wanted to do this when the tanks were present. So that seems fine. And we're going to start just pushing this out. The infantry are going to be in kind of an awkward situation behind this, but that's okay for now. So let's check in on our tank situation. 4,008. So that's up for now. And how are things looking up over here? Oh yeah, we're definitely pushing this. Cool. So that looks good. Now, eventually we're going to start hitting some supply issues out over here. And over here as well. So supply issues are absolutely going to be a concern. And we'll just work on getting our troops in here. Eventually they will arrive. I also want to come up here, and I'm thinking about having these guys be an army group, but to be honest, I might move them into this army group once these fronts link up. That makes more sense to me. So for now, I think I'll leave that be, and this sounds good. We do need a new research tech. I guess we can grab improved transport planes. This is fine. Okay, so we've got all of that railway work still happening in the background, right? That's absolutely going to be happening for a while here, but this is all fairly low priority as well. The much higher priority would be either digging in on these newly taken frontline provinces, or, more likely, dealing with supply issues. So I think we should probably put in a supply hub right about here. And I want that to be at the top of the queue. I put it at the bottom. There we go. We'll put that right up over here and just build a railway out to here. We can also build a railway up this direction, like that, and that's reasonably fine. I just want to do something like this. Okay. Now, supplies out over here shouldn't be in too dire of a strait, although they're kind of dire. They're definitely kind of dire. Okay, so that seems fine. We'll just continue the push for now. Okay, so we're making good progress here. This offensive is going well thus far. Particularly in the north, which was where we expected it to go better. This area is a lot rougher of terrain, right? And that was always expected to be more difficult. I'm wondering what the status on our infantry movement is. It's getting there. Yeah, the infantry are getting there in terms of their current positioning, but it's going to take them some time. And that's absolutely understood. So this push is going fairly well, actually. Reasonably well. We'll continue to push out over this direction, but that's looking great. So we're not actually pushing here right now, probably because we just made it. We just pushed up to the front line. Yeah, that's absolutely what happened here. So that looks good for the moment. Checking in on the supplies out here, this is definitely going to help matters. I don't really want to put a supply hub here, but maybe a supply hub about here would be a lot better. We could do one up over this way, potentially. But I think I'm going to leave that be for now. Supplies down over here, they're going to be spicy, basically, no matter what. But we've gained a lot of ground down here. I'm thinking that a supply hub here and pushing out a rail line like that is probably pretty necessary. I don't think we need any additional supply lines over here for now, other than that. So we'll get that going. It will take a while to get these supply lines built. Why do I only see one supply hub here? Did I queue that at the bottom again? Yes, I did. Okay. I was gonna say, we need to have two. Okay, so that seems good. We're going to be capturing this victory point fairly soon, and that's going to be very useful for us. No doubt about that. So I want to check in, now that we've run this for a while, we've run this operation for a while, I want to check in on our modern tank amount. So we can see we need 2 for reinforcement, that's great. But what I want to know is, how many do we have in stock? 4,112. That's a really good sign. Our number of stockpiled tanks is continuing to increase. So now the question that we need to answer is... Which one of these do I want? I want this one is fine. So now the question that we need to answer is the problem that our tanks are not getting to the front line? Or are we actually supplying these nicely? So let's look at reinforcements here. We currently have a request for 8 modern tanks. Okay. That seems to be working absolutely fine then. The enemy lines appear to be in pretty full collapse at this point, to be honest. They are doing very poorly. Now, we can see we're starting to see some supply issues out over this way, and that's deeply, deeply unsurprising. I want to put up another supply hub out over this way, and we're going to get a rail connection like that, and also a rail connection like that. I'm also thinking a supply hub down here might not be a bad idea. So we can get a rail connection like that and like that. Okay. So it's going to bog down as we run out of supplies, and that's not at all surprising, right? We know that this is going to be the case. Supply lines are going to be tough out here. So at a certain point, we're going to have to stop and build supply lines because they just don't pre-exist. That's just all there is to it. So Yugoslavia wants us to join their faction, the Czech Entente, and we're going to decline that. We're doing just fine on our own, to be honest. We don't need anybody else. What's going on up here? Ah, okay, that's up here. So I was like, hang on, are they over here? No, they're not. That could have been a problem, but they're absolutely not that. So that looks good, and we're just continuing to push in here. This is an infantry division, 1949A, so this isn't one of our normal infantry divisions. So I'm going to put that into our Coast Guard unit here. And keep in mind, we're going to need another Coast Guard over here. So actually, we should start a new Coast Guard unit We can't promote a commander to it just yet, but that's fine. And we're going to want to start area defending, guard coastline. And that's going to end up being, this is going to be a little awkward because I'm pre-ordering all of this. But that's going to end up being down over here, like this. So they're going to be responsible for guarding, like, this area for now. They've got 1 unit, and they're going to need more than that. But for the moment, this is what we've got. So that seems good. And yeah, this offensive is going very well. So I'm pleased with this thus far. Supplies are absolutely a concern. We should check in on the supply situation over here. For right now, I'm not terribly concerned about this. We've got a railway conversion happening over here. I would like to get this railway upgraded, but this is going to take a little time. And we're continuing to push in over here, so that seems relatively okay. This supply hub is, of course, being constructed. And this supply hub here, we should motorize. There we go. So that's underway. There's also, of course, going to be a bunch of infrastructure that we're going to have to build in these areas. So, infrastructure, anti-air, land forts, coastal forts. There's going to be a lot of work needing to be done here once we get this offensive completed. So we're just looking to get this into a unified line over here and have this be carved out for now. That's the only goal for the moment. The next step, of course, will be crushing all of this down here once they're cut off and pushing through the rest of China. But for now, that's not the goal. So everything's looking good for now. We're just continuing to push on through here. Supplies are being absolutely a concern out this way. So we could think about a supply hub here. I think that's not a terrible idea. Let's get that built. And then a rail line like this. I'm thinking maybe a supply hub here as well. Or here. I'm going here. Okay, that seems okay. And then we would have that connect there and then connect up to this hub and then connect up here as well. So as you can see, there are an awful lot of things that we're working on. We have to construct behind us everything that we take over. This is all completely or very nearly completely undeveloped. Nowhere near as developed as what we'd like it to be anyway. So that's going to be a lot of work. That's fine. We'll get all of these railways built pretty quick. It's the supply hubs that are going to be very slow. So that's understood. We'll just continue to get those filled in behind us as we push. And yeah, these lines are not doing all that well. So I want to check in at this point on our tank count. Definitely going up. So that seems good. We've got plenty of tank production. I'm not concerned about that then. That means that we can continue these attacks basically indefinitely. So that's absolutely phenomenal. So once we link up here, we're going to want to take at least this location, but ideally we'd like to push up to the river here. I'm going to order that, actually. So these guys are going to assist up over here. We're going to try to push up to the river here, because that would be a very, very useful position for us to hold. So I want these guys to be assisting with this. There we go. And we'll check in on that eventually. The rest of these attacks mostly are going pretty okay. So that looks good. We're definitely starting to slow down a little bit on this offensive as we stretch our supply lines. So taking a look at this, there's a hub here. That means that this hub probably should just get deleted. We probably shouldn't even have this. So that is, which one of these is this? That's this one? Yeah. Don't bother with building that anymore. Get rid of it. I do still want that rail line, and that'll just connect down to here, like that. And then beyond that, I think we need to push a little further before I really want to get another hub, although one here is not terrible. I put that at the bottom of the queue. Let's get that back up. There we go. And then a rail line from here, like that, and like that. Okay, So something along the lines of this. So we're not going to push too much further here, of course. I mean, we're going to push up to this river. So that's a decent amount of additional push. How are we doing on this attack? I really, really want to take this location. So we're expecting that this will last another while. That's understood. We're currently winning that attack, but I'm just looking at our organizations and I'm thinking, we're having a hard time with it. We're definitely having a hard time with it. So that's understood. I want to check in on supply out over here. So a supply hub here actually makes a lot of sense to me. So we can get that going. And yeah, a connection here and then a connection kind of like that. Yeah, that sounds good. And then we've got a hub here. This is currently upgrading, but a connection down here like this. And I'm thinking about a hub here. Like that. This is actually a water link here, isn't it? So this should connect up over here. This will convert on the next day, so that's fine. Has to convert over to our rail gauge, right? So that's absolutely understood. Military engineering vehicles are now done. Okay. And there's that day tick. Okay, so that's a level 5 railway. Good. So that seems okay. Looks like this attack up over here is beginning to fail a little bit. We just need to keep the pressure on. This is mostly because the tanks are currently taking a bit of a break from the attack. And we'll order them to attack again soon enough. So that seems fine. These guys, you can just drive down here, right? And you can just come down here. There's nobody here. Like, this is pretty unopposed to us right now. So that's really, really good. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to keep our push across China going, and eventually, we'll get to our goals here. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.